Now you can do the same thing with the rhythm kits too. I'll select as standard kit and press F5 for patch effects, F1 for routing. Now, when I play the different pads or the different keys across the keyboard, you can see them changing here. They can all have different level settings depending on what you're playing. So for example, kick drum here, this is the reverb send. It's going to the reverb and the output goes out to output A. So here's kick drum. It has a tone reverb send level of 20. Side stick has a bit more, 40. Let's make this very obvious and just crank this up. So now kick drum has hardly anything and the side stick has the max that goes over to our reverb and which has its own output level right here. So that's the maximum I can send to my reverb. You can adjust the return or the output of the reverb right here. I can also select the type of reverb down here and hit enter. There are a bunch of different reverbs. I like the SRV hall, that's kind of a cool sound. Obviously that's a lot more reverb than I would normally put. But the type of reverb and the output of the reverb is constant across all the pads and the keyboard part, right? That makes sense. I have a single reverb processor that can be only on one setting and one output level at a time. However, the send can be set differently for each of my drum sounds. So for example, I could have over on my kick drum, absolutely nothing of my kick drum sent to the reverb, but a ton on the side stick. This is just like in a recording studio. If we had a large console here with a bunch of channels, each channel has effect sends. For each channel, they would share the same effect. In this case, that would be reverb, but you can decide how much reverb you want on each of those channels. So again, we have a common chorus and reverb that's shared across all the pads and the keyboard part, and a patch effects. Now that takes care of all of the routing here. What about the choice of effects? You can make your choices down here for the reverb with 3 choices here, and also off, and the same thing with the reverb. I think there's about 10 different choices right here. And if you actually want to mess with the reverb, you can go into the chorus and reverb and hear all the various parameters that you can play with either the chorus and the reverb. And remember, like I said before, look out for the labeled parameters here. They correspond with the front panel knobs and sliders. Same thing with the chorus. You can choose the chorus type and make your adjustments down here using either the virtual knobs or the real knobs on the front panel if they are labeled. Actually, if I go down here, delay is actually pretty interesting here because it allows you to sync your delays to musical terms. Look down here, instead of milliseconds, actually in musical terms, so the echoes will fall right on the beat. Now you might wonder, why is the delay lumped in with the chorus settings? Well, actually chorus is actually a delay-based effect. It's a very short delay, well under 100 milliseconds, and that delay time is actually swept by an LFO or a low frequency oscillator.